Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably very familiar with ChatGPT by OpenAI. Now, regardless of your opinion on artificial intelligence, there are tons of practical applications for it, from day-to-day life help, organization, writing professional emails, and of course in business. As a print-on-demand e-commerce business owner, I use ChatGPT to help me every single day with the creativity and listing aspects of my online businesses. But there's kind of a learning curve when it comes to really figuring out how to best use it to your advantage and harness its full potential. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use ChatGPT to help me create designs for both my Amazon Merch on Demand and Etsy businesses. Now, I wanted to start today's video off on this topic of whether AI designs are even allowed on the Amazon and Etsy platforms, because I know I'm going to get questions about this. And I think you all know where I'm going to go with my answer, which is I am not an attorney. I do not represent any of these companies. I'm simply following their terms of service. However, I did go straight to the source, and I will pop up a screenshot right here of a live chat of me confirming with an Etsy customer support team member that they do in fact allow AI generated digital products to be sold on Etsy, because they essentially acknowledge that due to the prompts and input by the artist, AI images possess a level of creativity and artistry. Again, do whatever you're most comfortable with. Nobody is even saying that you have to start incorporating AI into your designs. And as a fellow business owner, I always err on the side of caution, because I want to make sure that my businesses are going to be around in years and years and years to come and are going to be able to stand the test of time. So in today's video, I wanted to show you two methods. So the first is going to be showing you that ChatGPT is obviously capable of creating entire designs that, per the Etsy associate, could be sold on the Etsy platform. And the second method that I wanted to discuss was showing you exactly how to have ChatGPT create specific design elements. So if you're not comfortable, again, listing an entirely AI created design, you can always incorporate just specific AI elements into a human created design. And so I'm going to show you exactly what prompts you would have to use to get ChatGPT to give you elements like that. Now, in terms of Amazon's Merch on Demand platform, I've not been able to find a clear statement from them or anywhere in their terms of service where they even mention AI. So if you guys know something that I don't, then feel free to share that in the comment section down below. So my motto here, since we really don't know, is I'm going to play things on the safe side, obviously, because this is my largest print on demand business. I want to make sure that we keep everything nice and safe and sound here. So I would feel comfortable including specific AI design elements, but I would not feel comfortable uploading an entirely AI created PNG file. So let's jump into the prompts here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and then we'll talk about some key takeaways. So the biggest learning curve that I have personally experienced while utilizing ChatGPT to help me with my print on demand businesses is learning how to most efficiently create a prompt. Because for both our designs and our listings, which I'm going to make a future video about, we know that each platform that we're selling on essentially has their own set of rules that we need to abide by. So now let's head over to ChatGPT. So I usually just get there by Googling ChatGPT, and then I go down here to OpenAI, introducing a ChatGPT. So for the purpose of today's video, I have already done the market research and I already know what design I want to have created. However, if you're unsure or you're still deciding, you can of course use ChatGPT to help you either come up with a completely new niche idea, to help you niche down, or to even help you combine niches that can result in some pretty lofty sales. So first, we're going to start out just by simply adding in a text. So you can see here that my prompt to ChatGPT was to make me a downloadable PNG image showing a campground with a camper, fire, and a mountain view with the words "Welcome to Camp, Quit Your Bitchin" at the top of the image, and "If you're not a happy camper, take a hike" at the bottom of the image with a transparent background. So it's important that you tell it every single time that you want the image to have a transparent background, because otherwise you're going to be putting that on top of your Merch on Demand shirt, and you're either going to see a colored background or a black background or something that might not be as visually appealing. So here's the finished design that ChatGPT came up with, and I actually think it's really good, especially when compared to a few other places that use AI. They often can't get wording and lettering quite right. That still has to be perfected. So the fact that this is all reading fine is actually really impressive to me. And again, you can see that there's a transparent background, and all I have to do is click on download over here in the top right hand corner, and it downloads directly to my computer, and I can use it however I wish to. So here is my downloaded file. Now, the one thing that I did forget to do in my prompt, which you'll perfect your prompt over time, was to tell it that I want this design in the dimensions 4500 by 5400, because those are the typical designs that you'll see a PNG file for on the Amazon Merch on Demand platform, and typically on Etsy as well. So if we wanted to, we could have ChatGPT ChatGPT resize this image to those dimensions for us. So as you can see, I prompted it to resize the following image to 4500 by 5400 pixels. It simply resized it for me. You can see that the original image was only 1024 by 1536 pixels. And so you can see that this is the newest image and it is in the correct dimension. Now, the other way that you can do this is by adding a reference image. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do that if that's something that you choose to do. So this is the reference image that I'm going to use. So in order to add my reference image, all I have to do is drag this and drop this over here and it will automatically upload it for me. Now I'm going to input the exact same prompt that I had previously, this time remembering to include the dimensions. So while this works, you can obviously see that I like to submit the prompt both ways just because I want to see what option I like best before I decide to list something for sale on my stores. Now, the other option that you have if you really want to spice things up here is to head over to a place called Style Safari, and you can get a lot of design inspiration there. So if you're scrolling through Style Safari, think that the designs won't look exactly like this, but rather these are obviously reference images. So the resulting design would likely have similar colors, similar layouts, and of course, just an overall similar feel to any of the images that you see here. And again, it's the same concept here where you can simply screenshot this or save this image as a reference image and drag and drop it into ChatGPT. Okay, so here is the completed image. So as you can see, it's fairly similar to the reference image that we uploaded. And I think I like the other one personally better. So it seems like sometimes it turns out if you don't submit a reference image and just see what ChatGPT comes up with. So now the next step is I'm going to re-prompt ChatGPT using the initial image that I liked much better. And I'm going to tell it that I wanted to break up that design into individual design elements that I can then download and use. So I input our initial PNG image that ChatGPT created for us, and then I told it to simply remove the text from this design, keeping it in the same dimensions with a transparent background. Now it's provided me two options. They're very subtly different. So the shape of the camper here is different than this one. The fire details are slightly different, but I think either of these are great. So I'm just going to download this. So now you can see that I have this entire design element, which I think this design is actually really great. So all I have to do now is throw this into the Merch Informer Studio or whatever design tool you choose to use. And then I can add my own personal and human touch to this by adding text wherever I want to. Now, the very last thing that I wanted to say here, and again, like all of my print on demand designs, make sure that you're checking your work. Even though this is AI creating this design and not a human, that doesn't mean that this design is immune from potential copyright or trademark infringement. And it's your job to do your own due diligence for your businesses. So I always take a screenshot of the image, do a reverse Google image search, and see what kind of visual matches you find over here on the side. So I don't see anything really blatant or that ChatGPT has copied this image exactly. So I think that this is completely safe to use. So again, this is showing you how to download specific design elements from larger whole PNG files that ChatGPT has given you or that you already have. So the goal here, of course, is not for AI to come in and completely replace creative business owners, but rather for business owners like you and I to use this as just another tool in our toolbox so that we can grow and scale our businesses even faster. So I hope that this video has been helpful. If it was, please do me a huge favor and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love to have you. Again, I am working on a few more AI focused videos that I'm going to have out in the very near future. One that is focused on helping you design for specific marketplaces, and another one that is specifically targeted towards how AI and ChatGPT can help you keyword listing. So make sure that you keep an eye out for those. As always, let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. Feel free to follow me on my social channels right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.